Hello, my name is Tori Smith, and I monitor a child trafficking operation in the United States, which for me is an extremely difficult job. And when I just self-created job. I just do this because out of respect to the children, and also because there may be, a lot of people that do care have started praying and doing affirmations, law of attraction exercises and sessions, and it's made a huge difference. And at one point I had asked people to ask the Galactics for help, and the Galactics ended up arresting 8,056 what I call invaders from other planets, but technically that's inaccurate because they were invited here. They were invited here by the ones who want World War III. And we have more good news. This has been a really intense weekend. And on Friday the 18th, I did a report called 218 Children from 4 sources gang raped and murdered in 16 locations. AFRICOM, the Air Force, NATO, and Child Protective Services brought in these children to the child trafficking operation. And one of the locations, I just did a report in Indiana, and I was going to say, though, it is getting easier because when I first started doing this, I forgot one of the golden rules, and that's to ask heaven for help. One of the best things we can do is say, thank you, God, for working your miracles through me and for me. Thank you, God, for helping me. Thank you for helping us. Thank you, angels. I love the angels. I know a lot of people say there's bad angels and evil angels, but that's all BS. There's no such thing as a fallen angel unless you're referring to another species that are not angels. Angels are a separate species, and they don't have genitalia. They don't come out of the sky and rape women because they can't. They don't have sex. They're a much higher vibrational species than we are. Even in the 5th dimension, even the 7th dimension, they're the highest levels, and that's a whole nother subject. But a lot of the times when I'm angry, I could turn things over to the angels, and I was going to talk about how I see things, because many people don't understand. They get really angry, especially the dark side. They don't understand that, number one, everything is recorded here in many different ways. Everything is individually recorded in our each and individual DNA, and that DNA is publicly available. Any person that has the ability can look into your DNA and read what you've done. They can also, there's like videos and pictures and everything. Everything is recorded in DNA. Now, heaven, which is actually begins at the 7th dimension and goes up to the highest dimensions of our universe, somehow, with high technology, records each and every person from the time they're born to the time that they exist, until they expire, I'm sorry. And those records are available at the Hall of Charts and the Hall of Records. But the child trafficking information is available at the Hall of Justice, because the videos of these men raping children, and a lot of women who watch, they're only kept in one location. Well, the 18 halls and temples, I believe they're also kept at the Galactic Central Sun and some other places, which I don't need to go into. But what was really difficult for me is because I would see the actual rape, and it was horrified because I myself have been raped. My sister was gang raped as a child. They targeted me since I was 5 years old. I was taught to have sex when I was 8 years old. And I have very, very strong feelings about people having sex with children. A lot of people have been through what I've been through. But I would like to focus on the basement of the White House on Friday night, because 6 children were gang raped 46 times by 26 males. And the males were Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley, who those two were both running for president. I don't know if they still are, because neither one of them are going to... None of the people running for president have a chance to become president. Rupert Murdock, the owner of Fox News, and there were 3 Fox executives there. There were 2 Army Special Ops men. One's named Trevor and one's named Travis. And there were Secret Service, I believe, 7 Secret Service men. The new Attorney General of the United States, not Loretta Lynch. The new CIA director of the whole planet, the new CIA director of the United States, the new CIA director of the Europe region, and the new CIA director for Russia. The new NSA director, you know, because Keith Alexander was arrested, and then 3 from the Vatican, because there were 12 people arrested from the Vatican, including child trafficker Jorge Bergoglio, who a lot of people call Pope Francis. And the other pope, who I can't even stand to look at, Joseph Ratzinger, he was a Nazi war criminal. And I don't remember his, you know, his drag name. I don't remember. You know, they put on their dresses and their hats and they run around and rape children all day. I hate the Vatican. I think it should be destroyed. But that's my personal opinion. So I'm calling, because it was, when his DNA, when I pulled up his DNA, it was an Italian name, and I don't speak Italian. And I have a lot of trouble with names anyway. It takes me, you know, several days sometimes to get a name accurate. And even then, you know, I spell it wrong or whatever. So I'm going to call him the new director of the Vatican and his #1 assistant and #2 assistant. Okay, now these children were gang raped the whole time. I don't think I need to go into how many times each of them raped. But let's talk about these children and who murdered them. Barack Obama murdered a 4-year-old Sumerian boy. Martin O'Malley murdered a 4-year-old Jordanian girl. Joe Biden murdered a 5-year-old North Korean girl. Trevor, who's an Army Special Ops, if you don't know, what they do is basically what the CIA does. It's just they're moving the CIA intelligence into the Army. Well, this has been going on for a while, because their goal is to control civilians before they attack. And they have all these like mind control things. DARPA has produced a weapon that can paralyze people in their homes, and they can move you around like a puppet. They've done that to me. They tested that weapon on me for a long time. Oh my God, it wasn't good. Now it doesn't hurt, because, you know, you'll just be sitting there and all of a sudden your hand will go like up this, you know, or your hands will go up like this because they're getting you in a position to tie you up and then rape you. But when it first began, when they would focus this weapon on you, oh my God, the pain was so horrific. And then the pedophiles, you know, child rapist and child murderer Mike Pence and the other filthy low-life criminal pedophiles who run Indiana state senators or whatever, they cut our medicine off. They said that any person who's taking pain medicine is a drug addict. And they made it so if doctors prescribe someone for more than a few days pain medicine, they can take the doctor's license away. Of course, doctors fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And so that's who Trevor and Travis are. They do all this mind control crap, and they go around raping and murdering innocent children. And then Bernie Sanders, who I was calling Bernie Saunders, because a lot of times I don't get names right. He raped and murdered a 4-year-old Syrian boy. Well, he also raped and murdered 2 other children, but he murdered the 4-year-old Syrian boy from the United States war crime against Syria. And I think it was 3 million people now have been murdered by the United States. And Obama also murdered a 4-year-old Syrian girl. So Obama murdered 2 4-year-olds, a 4-year-old girl, a 4-year-old boy. And the best news is that yesterday, which I have another report to you, there's so much going on this weekend. There was a war at the FBI, and I did a report earlier on this guy. If I remember right, he's deputy director, but I don't want to publicly say that because I said there were 3 benevolent FBI agents who went to their superiors about child trafficking because they didn't know about it and they freaked out. And they were all murdered at point-blank range by this guy. I'm pretty sure he's deputy director or something. I can get his name. I'm not good with names. I made a report about that murder, those 3 murders. And but he was killed yesterday. There was like this big war at the FBI, and things were going crazy. And there was also another group arrest. Barack Obama was arrested yesterday. Joe Biden was arrested yesterday. 4 CEOs and also 7 military males. And I haven't checked, but I have a feeling it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a feeling it's 6 of them. You know, or while we're just talking about that, I want to pull it today. I've got 6. The new directors of NSA, yes, yes, yes. New director of intelligence or international CIA, yes. Okay, so these were the guys. Because what I knew for sure is they were working out of the CIA headquarters, which you probably know by now is at the bottom of Lake Geneva at the France-Switzerland border, and it's right by that huge monstrosity, the Hadron Collider, which they also have a second one, which is out in Roswell. So the 7 members of the military arrested, the new directors, new attorney general. That's like the 7th attorney general in a row that's been arrested. You know, but all these sewer lizards, I call them sewer lizards. They're technically called dark entity reptilians. But I call them sewer lizards because they rape and murder children and commit the most horrific war crimes imaginable. And there was a lot arrested. There was 819 of them arrested. And now this latest group, Obama has 4 clones and Biden has 3 clones. And if you remember at the end of 9/11, 3 months after 9/11, Osama bin Laden died of I think it's called renal kidney failure at a posh Dubai hospital. But he recorded, because he worked for the CIA for 34 years. His American name was Tim Osman. And Osama bin Laden had made all these recordings for the Bush and Cheney families, so they could keep playing them over and over and over, and they could pretend that he was alive. But what the problem was is in the world news, it was when he died, it was recorded in world news. And also there's a video of it. You can go look at the video of this man expiring at this posh Dubai hospital. And that's probably the same thing they're going to do with the Obama clones. They call it continuity of government. They'll do anything they can to, because their goal is to have World War III and kill us all. They want to do the Nazi concentration camp thing again. But that's not going to work. Heaven says it's way, way past that. There's no chance in hell, as we say, for that to happen. But so all these children gang raped and murdered in the basement of the White House. Why? Because it's the United States of America with 40 child trafficking locations where thousands and thousands and thousands of children are gang raped and murdered. And but it's ending. It's finally ending. Lots of arrests. Almost all the temporals are gone. There's a few left. But we finally have good news. God bless your hearts. Thank you so much for your prayers. They've really, really made a difference. God love you. I know I do.